So, iQOO just launched the Neo 7 Pro. It's their first Pro series smartphone and the specs and performance on this thing are insane. But I want to give you 5 reasons why you should get this phone and 2 reasons why you may still want to reconsider. Let's go. Reason number 1, it's built for performance. It has a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chip. It's got up to 12 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM and a very fast UFS 3.1 internal storage. This is exactly the kind of specs that we were looking at in last year's flagship phones. This phone is crazy fast and there's absolutely no phone in this price segment that can actually compete. If you look at the ANTUTU scores here, even with the same chip, none of the phones can compete with the Neo 7 Pro. So it is hands down the fastest phone in this price segment. But what makes this phone a complete monster device is that it's got an independent gaming chip. And it does a few things for you that no other phone does. First, you will instantly feel that the graphic quality of the game lobby, the menu, and obviously during the gameplay is so much better than any other phone. I mean, seriously, Call of Duty has never looked so good as it does on this phone. Second, it really boosts your FPS. So, you can expect something like 90 or even 120 FPS in games like BGMI and Call of Duty. It uses something called as frame interpolation to boost frame rates. And yeah, 120 FPS in Call of Duty. And third, it will do all of this at a reduced power consumption. And I played Call of Duty online multiplayer for about an hour straight. Absolute smooth gameplay. It didn't get hot at all. I think very efficient thermals, and at most, it was just warm. And a lot of this is because of the very dense vapor chamber, the multi-layer graphite, and temperature sensors that constantly monitor thermals. Reason number 2, this phone is equipped with very special gaming features. So while you're in the game, you can switch between various gaming modes, Monster being the highest performing mode. Then there's 4D motion on the phone, so as you game, you can feel the vibration as someone shoots at you or when there's something that you need to be alerted for. Next, and my favorite, is motion control. So I can quickly set up gestures to perform certain actions like tilting to zoom in or tilting to the left to change my gun. And I can set 6 such gestures. It's amazing. And then there's also the ability to take screenshots and record your gameplay built right into the phone. And what really makes this a true gaming phone is that you can customize the gaming experience to a level where you feel very comfortable. You can modify the sensitivity of various actions based on how you like to play your games. It's insane. And guys, on top of all of this, the Neo 7 Pro has a touch sampling rate of 1200 Hz. You usually get about 240 Hz or 300 Hz on even flagship phones. Even the Nord 3 has 1000 Hz of touch sampling rate, but not 1200 Hz. And this basically implies that taps are going to be registered very quickly, giving you a more instantaneous gaming feel. It's crazy. Now, the third reason is that gorgeous display. It's a 6.78 inches AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate and 1300 nits of peak brightness. So it's a great display, but it's normal for phones in this price segment to have very similar specs. But there are a few things about this display that's not there usually in phones. See, first, it's a 10-bit panel, so you get very good color depth. Second, it's got a flicker-free display and 16,000 dimming levels, so you can set your desired brightness level with more accuracy. And it's just these little things that really add to your experience, and you don't generally get these things in other phones in this price segment. And because this is an HDR10 Plus panel, you can watch HDR content on Netflix. Reason number 4, it comes with everything in the box. So the phone comes with this case. It comes with a pre-applied screen protector. There's a Type-C to Type-C cable. There's a 120-watt charger, and there's the ejection pin. Anyway, so the point is that you don't have to wait to get a screen protector or a case to be able to use your phone or even spend anything extra to get a charger. You get everything right in the box. And coming to the last reason, I think it's the design. It's very distinct and it feels quite premium. I've got the orange color, also known as the Fearless Flame, but it's the vegan leather that makes it stand out. More and more phones in this price segment have started coming with this material, and I really like it. It feels great in the hand, it doesn't slip, and it doesn't attract dust or fingerprints. And actually, you could just use this without a case because, over time, it doesn't feel like the kind of material that would get scratched or that would lose its shine over time. So that, I think, is really good. Other than that, it's a dual nano SIM device, no eSIM, no microSD card slot, and it's a dual speaker device. Actually, let's also do a quick speaker check. Now look guys, these are all great reasons to get this phone, but there are still some things you need to think about before you can actually go ahead and get it. Look, the Neo 7 Pro comes with Android 13 and it's running FunTouch OS 13. But it's not going to get Android upgrades beyond Android 16, and it's only going to get security updates for 3 years. Now, if you're one of those people who change their phones every 2 years, completely fine. But if you're in it for about 4 years, then this is definitely something you should think about. And see, you still have to go through initial setup to disable the bloatware like hot apps and hot games and turn off browser notifications. Other than that, it is quite standard. You've got your always on display, which you can customize and personalize. You've got various edge lighting styles for incoming notifications and phone calls. You can just shake your phone to turn on the flashlight real quick. You can get into split screen with quick gestures. And you can even use it to remotely control any of your home appliances thanks to the IR Blaster. But still, just 2 years of upgrade, so that is probably an area that even I would still think hard about. And the other thing is that this is a gaming-centered phone. It's not like a hardcore camera-centric phone. Like see, it's got a 50 megapixel primary camera with OIS, an 8 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and a 2 megapixel macro lens. But you know what, let's take a look at the samples. Now, the photos here, they're definitely not the best in the segment. It just takes about decent photos. They do generally have a bit more contrast than they should. Greens are definitely a bit too green and saturated, but then there are times when the photos, it lacks detail. Now, I wouldn't call these photos bad. They're fine. It's just that they aren't as natural and accurately processed as they should be. Even indoors, I did sense the white balance bouncing off here and there, and it does make a difference. Sure, you could always tweak this and make it better, but right out of the box, it's not the best. Here are also some shots taken using the ultra-wide lens. Now, they aren't bad actually if the lighting is good, but in this case, now you can see the difference in the color signs of both the lenses, not consistent at all. And portrait photos may seem fine, but if you see carefully, there are some issues. I mean, you can see how the processing was not accurate. There's definitely some room for improvement there. And even for the selfie camera, it needs a lot of work. The skin tones are dialed down, very soft, and the whole image lacks details. So I do believe that the camera in general, it does require some updates. Now, other than the usual modes, here are some other modes that you would be able to use. And there's also a Pro Video mode right here, as well as Pro Photo mode. So yeah, you can change the white balance, exposure, and all of those things. There's also an option to click in RAW if you want to. Also, within the video mode, you do have the option to shoot up to 4K, and that too all the way up to 60 FPS. So you can shoot smooth videos. And the OIS really helps. You can see even as I move the phone, the frame looks very stable. But let's look at a sample. And when I'm playing back this video sample, it's again decent at best. It's not the most color accurate 4K video. There's definitely room for improvement in terms of color and exposure. The stabilization is really good, but then I do see that there's some sort of breathing to compensate. And so yeah, when it comes to camera, I think in general, the Neo 7 Pro is not all that optimized. So guys, that's the Neo 7 Pro. It is the fastest and the most powerful smartphone you can buy under 35,000 rupees. Actually, even under 40,000 or even under 45,000, it may still be the fastest phone. And so you can see the value it offers in terms of performance. It's amazing. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, thoughts, comments, let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely engage with you guys over there. And if you guys enjoyed watching the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel guys, and hit that bell notification icon. And please mark all. Really helps the channel grow. I'll see you guys in the next one.